Aloha. Wow, this is a pretty humbling experience. And I'm not going to let you off the hook because Hawaiians are in the house, and I want to say aloha, and I want to hear it back to me. Aloha. Aloha. Very good. In our way, and I know in your way too, the protocol is to tell you about myself, which is and where I come from. So my name is Robin Puanani Danner. I'm from the island of Kauai, a small fishing village called Niumalu. My mother is Kawahine Kilomana Kolo, who married John William Danner. So I am the product of a hot-blooded Native Hawaiian woman who married a German Mennonite Amishman from Nebraska. So how's that? And for those of you who don't know, Mennonites are the Amish with electricity. I was born on my island, and fortunately, and I guess I want to express my gratitude to Indian country, to American Indians and Alaska Natives, because though you may not know it, your colleagues, your family members somewhere in the country helped to raise my four brothers and I and my younger sister, because my parents were educators of Native children. And so I spent my time on the Huli'ia River, the banks of the Huli'ia River on my home island, in the deserts of the Apache, Hopi, and Navajo nations, and then above the Arctic Circle among the Inupiat Eskimos in the North Slope of Alaska. And as soon as I was adult enough, I made myself my way back home to Hawaii, of course, 15 years ago when I got my native allotment. So I guess what I want to say that this is an awesome opportunity, and I want to thank OISTA and OFN for not just recognizing me, but rather recognizing Native Hawaiians as being contributory to our journey as Native peoples in becoming all that we can be. I want to thank the members of NCN tonight, because I know you're here, for giving one of our emerging leaders, one of our next generation leaders, Rosalie Pua'oi, on Monday night. I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for electing her to her first national Native board, the NCN board. Rosalie is a next generation leader, and I believe that the work that I've been allowed and privileged to do across the country for American Indians, Alaska Natives, and Native Hawaiians is because of mentors, that knew that true leadership was about pulling the next generation forward and then getting out of the way to allow them, who allowed me to stub my toe, allowed me to fall, and never scolded me, but instead lifted me up and assigned me another task, whether that was Joseph Ilpiksound from Alaska, whether that was Senator Daniel Akaka from my own homeland, whether that was the amazing tribal chairmen and tribal leaders that you have in Indian country that have been putting up the good fight for decades, and always often in the lead, as Indian country has been in the lead of the CDFI industry. So my heart is full. I want to thank you for allowing us to stand on your shoulders, and I cannot accept the award for myself, but I accept it on behalf of my elders and the young people from my community that helped to shape my worldview. And I do have to say in closing that I came to know OFN 4 years ago, and since then, Mark, I have sent members of my staff to OFN every year to try to help them see the larger, amazing industry that our CDFIs are. And I want to say to my colleagues in Indian country that all of us have, in our Native journeys, in our two worlds walking, because you all know that we have to walk in two worlds, that Mark Pinsky, when I first met him, and when I came to understand OFN, you were one of the few organizations. You are one of the few leaders from outside our community that understands the inside of our community. And usually, we don't pay too much mind. But it's clear to me over the last 4 years as I have sent my team and as I have come to engage with OFN, that you understand that the native CDFI industry is not about a racially based community, that it's about a sovereignty, that's about lifting up the original peoples that frankly made a great country. The United States was founded on an awesome business plan, the Land for Free business plan. And so I want to say to Mark Pinsky that it's not often that we have a partner that understands what we're fighting for, that we're not just a minority. We're much more than that. We are native nations that my German father once said to me, "Robin, I don't ever want you to worry about your German heritage. I don't ever want you to worry about the good ideas of the German people, of their culture, of their language. There is an entire country dedicated that will make sure that that survives the fabric of humanity. I want you to worry about your mother's heritage and her culture, that the good ideas of the Native Hawaiians in the Pacific, the ingenious tools and methodologies of taking care of that particular place on the planet lives on." And that he told me the struggle would be to be two worlds walking, to make sure that our native nation survives inside of a larger native nation. And Mr. Pinsky, I think for sure I could say out loud, and I'm sure that everyone in the audience would agree with me, that you are one of those souls that understands our journey and therefore will be a powerful partner for us in the future. Mahalo nui.